Ciao friends! If there is one dish that unites all of us, well, that's pasta. Simple, satisfying, delicious. But are you cooking the pasta right? Today we are diving deep into the art of pasta making to expose the 10 most common mistakes you are probably making without even knowing it. Get ready to transform your pasta game from good to magnifico, fantastic. Mistake number 1, choosing the wrong pasta and sauce pairing. Thinking all pasta shapes are interchangeable. You wouldn't put a delicate pesto with giant pasta, like giant rigatoni, it won't work because the pasta needs to absorb a lot of sauce. Different shapes are designed to hold different sauces. Long, thin pastas like spaghetti or linguine love smooth, light sauces. Robust, chunky sauces they perform best with short, tubular or ribbed pasta like rigatoni or fusilli. So if you get this wrong, well, your sauce just slides off, leaving you with sad, naked pasta. If you want to learn more about pairing your sauce with the pasta, go and watch my video, which I've done a while back, and it talks about how to pair pasta with sauces. I'll put the link down below. Mistakes number 2, the pot. Go big or go home. Ever seen your pasta clumping together or sticking to the bottom of the pot? Well, you probably made a big mistake because you're using a pot that's too small with not enough water. Pasta needs space to swim and expand. I always say pasta needs to dance. Give room to the pasta to dance. Okay? If you go to a nightclub dancing, you don't want to be squashed. You want to be able to move. Pasta needs to move. So for every 100 grams of pasta, you need at least 1 liter of water. That means for a standard 500 grams package, you need at least 5 liters of water. So a big pot filled with plenty of water. You need to ensure consistent cooking, preventing sticking, and you want to allow the starches to release properly. Mistake number 3, salt your pasta water. Well, this is a big one. When the water in the pot get to the point of boiling, okay, you add the salt. It's a mistake when you're not properly salting your pasta water. Well, some chefs, and my nonna too, believes that it should taste like the sea. Nonna put lots of salt in the pasta water. I don't believe you have to use that much salt, okay? And I've learned this over the years because I've got kids, and when they were young, I try not to give too much salt. 1 generous tablespoon of rock salt, it's good for a large pot of water, okay? Then later on, you're gonna add pecorino and flavors to the sauce, so there should be plenty of salt. But the salt, it's important for your pasta water because it adds more flavors. The only chance you have to season the pasta itself is in the cooking water. So once it's cooked, you can't add salt directly to the pasta. There's no way that you're gonna add more salt when the pasta's in the colander. I know Gordon Ramsay did that, but that's very bad, very wrong. You don't do it. For every liter of water, aim for at least 10 grams of salt. Don't worry because the pasta is not going to absorb all of it, but it will become perfectly seasoned from the inside out. This makes a huge difference in the final flavor. But remember this, if you're making cacio e pepe, carbonara, gricia, those Roman pastas where a lot of pecorino is involved, then I recommend you not to use any salt or just a little amount of salt in the pasta water because the pecorino is very salty. So the pasta will have a lot of flavors, okay? Mistake number 4, don't add the oil to the cooking water. This is a myth and I need to bust this right now. Adding oil to your pasta water to prevent sticking, it's just, stop it, it's just so wrong. It's not gonna prevent that. This is a common misconception. Oil in the water simply floats on top. It doesn't prevent sticking. A large pot and enough water does that for you. And worse, it creates a film on the pasta. This film actually prevents your delicious sauce from making love with the pasta, right? You want the pasta to absorb the sauce. So leaving your pasta slick and without flavors. Save the beautiful extra virgin olive oil for finishing. okay? To make sure the pasta doesn't stick together, you need the large pot, the water, and you need to stir the pasta. And then within 2 to 3 minutes, I will go and stir again. That way, you avoid the pasta to get stuck to the bottom, okay? Mistake number 5. The pasta is ready before the sauce. Timing is everything in Italian cooking. Not having your sauce ready before your pasta hits the boiling water? Huge mistake. Pasta waits for no one. Once it's cooked, it starts losing its ideal texture very, very quickly. Your sauce should be gently simmering, fully flavored, and ready to welcome the pasta directly from the pot. This ensures the pasta finishes cooking in the sauce, absorbing those wonderful flavors, and prevents it from getting cold or glumpy. I see many people around the world, they put the pasta, dead pasta I call it, in the plate and then the sauce on top. No, it's very important you always mix the sauce and the pasta together, but we get there. Let's go to mistake number 6. Don't kill your pasta. Cook it al dente. There is a reason why. This is the golden rule of pasta. Al dente means to the tooth. Firm, but with a slight bite in the center. Check the package for suggested cooking times. Then start tasting a minute or 2 before the pasta is ready. Overcooked pasta is mushy, loses its structure, and simply isn't enjoyable. The texture is crucial for the overall experience and how it interacts with the sauce. By overcooking the pasta, you're actually destroying all the benefits, or all the protein, everything the pasta can give you, okay? Mistake number 7, don't mix the pasta with the sauce. The magic of Mantecatura is so important. If you want restaurant quality pasta, you need to master this. Draining your pasta water and not using the Mantecatura is probably the biggest mistake you can make. Biggest. This is where the magic happens. Starchy pasta water is liquid gold. It helps emulsify the sauce, creating a beautiful, glossy, happy pasta. Reserve at least a cup of pasta water before you're draining it. When you add your al dente pasta to the sauce, add a splash or 2 of pasta water and then stir as much as you can. Or even toast. That's even better if you know how to toast. It transforms a good sauce into an incredible one. It's something you must do. And if you add cheese, even better. Mistake number 8, the right finishing touches. Cheese, herbs, and extra virgin olive oil. Your pasta isn't done until you have done the perfect final touch. Forgetting the essential finishing touches is, again, a huge mistake. A generous sprinkle of fresh grated Parmigiano Reggiano or Pecorino Romano, depends on the sauce that you're making. A handful of fresh herbs like basil or parsley, unless you're making carbonara, cacio e pepe, Alfredo, there's no herbs going in. Or a final drizzle of good quality extra virgin olive oil are not optional. They elevate the entire dish according to the dish. These are not just garnishes to make it look good. No, they are parts, important parts, to add flavors components that brings everything together. But you need to know how to do this. There's no point to add parsley to a carbonara. Pecorino is the final touch on carbonara with guanciale. So you also need to know what to add as a finishing touch. Mistake number 9, not to serve the pasta straight away. Serve the pasta and eat it immediately. This one seems obvious, but let me tell you, people still delay. In these days, people go to restaurants and by the time they take photos and talk to each other, they're forgetting that the pasta is getting cold. Letting your pasta sit around and get cold, it's sad. Pasta, especially good pasta, doesn't wait for anyone. Once it's finished cooking and saucing, it should go straight from the pan to the plate and then to your mouth and then to your belly. The flavors are most vibrant, the texture is perfect, and the sauce is perfect, making love with the pasta. They are ready to be eaten. They are screaming, calling you, eat me now. So don't let it get cold and clump up. Enjoy it immediately. Mistake number 10. People reheat pasta the wrong way. If you're trying to reheat the pasta the wrong way, you're gonna have a sad, very, very sad experience. And I'm talking about, microwave pasta. Everyone has done that, even me. Trust me. Sometimes we're lazy, we wanna use it, but trust me, we are all missing out so much. This is how you reheat pasta. While some pasta dishes like baked ziti or lasagna or cannelloni or eggplant parmigiana can be reheated in microwave, okay, or oven, delicate pastas with light sauces, they really suffer in microwave. So how do you do it? Well, you must reheat, avoiding the microwave when it's possible. So what you want to do, you want to get a pan and you put extra virgin olive oil. When the oil is nice and warm, you add the pasta in and toss it, right? You want that pasta to really warm up and kind of not burn, not fry, but you want the pasta to become a little bit crispy. Now you can add a little bit of pasta water or tap water if you don't have pasta water, because that will rehydrate it, okay? Rehydrate the pasta and bring it back to life. Look, the best pasta is always served fresh, right? But when you reheat it the right way, let's say you have spaghetti al pomodoro that you need to reheat in the pan with extra virgin olive oil, you kind of have nice crispy spaghetti when you reheat it, you know, it takes about 5 minutes. And that's a different experience. It's beautiful. Yes, it is reheated, but if it's done the right way, it's as good as the fresh pasta you made the day before. There is one more mistake, which is a bonus mistake, I tell you now, is the love and the passion. If you don't put love and passion into your pasta, don't do it, because the pasta won't turn out. Love and passion are two magical ingredients that you must use. If you don't have them, don't make pasta. I'm serious. Guys, after almost 4 years, I finally have a cookbook. It's called Authentic Italian. You got some of the most beautiful authentic Italian pasta recipes in the book. It will really change your life and it will keep traditions alive. And that's what we need. Keep traditions alive for future generations. So go and check out. The book is now available in many continents and many countries. So please check it out on my website. Please don't forget to share this video with a friend who loves pasta or a friend who is afraid of cooking pasta and maybe needs to learn from this video. So thank you so much for watching this episode. I will see you on the next Vincenzo's Plate video recipe. E ora si mangia pasta done right by Vincenzo's Plate.